Hi guys, and welcome to my February DVD update, and it's DVD and Blu-ray. I forgot about the Blu-ray part. Sorry if my voice sounds a bit weird. I'm just getting over a cold, so yeah. So I've got a lot of stuff. I got quite a bit of money recently, so I decided to go all out and just buy pretty much everything that I've been meaning to get for a while, but just kept putting off. So multiple seasons of TV shows, a few films that there's a few I had seen before and just wanted to watch again, a couple I hadn't seen before, and one of which I don't think I have watched yet, and then there's a couple of Blu-rays in there as well. So I think I'll start off with the Blu-rays in there, so I'll probably go with one that came out recently. It's not the newest thing I got here. It's probably one of the first things. Yeah, I think it is the first thing out of all of these I got. But it's a really good film. It was on my best of the year list. It is Gone Girl, on Blu-ray, that is. And this is a really good film. If you've not seen it, definitely check it out. It's a David Fincher film, and I really like David Fincher. I mean, things like Seven and Fight Club and Zodiac, they're three of my favourite films. So yeah, I really wanted to watch Gone Girl, and I was not disappointed by it, because it is a really good film, really well made. It's basically, I won't spoil everything about it, but basically there is Ben Affleck's character Nick Dunn, who he's married to his wife called Amy, and one day on their anniversary she goes missing, and he wants to go find her, but yeah, the media start to notice he's acting weirdly about some of the things, and that yeah, and there's the first half of the film is all about, did he do it? Is he the person who did it? Is she gone, or what's happened to her? And through they find her diary, and yeah, there's sort of flashbacks of him beating her basically and not being a very nice husband. Yeah, so it's all about, the first half anyway is all about not knowing what's happening, not knowing whether he's guilty or not, what's happened to her at all. So that's why it does change after that, but I won't spoil it. So that's why I really liked about the first half. And then in the second half it gets crazy, but I won't spoil anything, because yeah, it's a film you should watch, and everything should shock you, I guess. It's yeah, I guess there's some disturbing parts in the second half. So yeah, this is a cool Blu-ray release. The only problem with it is it doesn't really have any special features, and by doesn't really I mean it has none except for a commentary. But what is pretty cool is just get the items out. The Blu-ray comes in like a small little digital copy fell out, small little thing, and in the rest of the thing, because it's a bit bigger than a normal Blu-ray case, is an Amazing Amy book. Amazing Amy being Rosamund Pike's character in the film. Her parents were a children's author who wrote these series of books called Amazing Amy, all based on Rosamund Pike's character. So this is one of the books, and it is a proper children's book. It's all folded together. It won't open because yeah, I haven't read it, because why would I? So yeah, that is a cool edition, but yeah, I'll probably never read it. So yeah, maybe one day I'll just be curious and just go, maybe I'll read it just to see what it's like, because I like the film and it'll be interesting. So yes, it's a good film. If you have not seen it, definitely check it out. So yeah, now I have to put everything back into the case. It doesn't want to go in there, and I did it. Okay, next up is let's just go with this one. There's one that I just got last week, but I thought I'll go with a different one I got about a month ago now. So yeah, I had the first and third one in this particular trilogy, and I'd been looking for a while to get the second one to complete the trilogy on Blu-ray. I had them all on DVD before, but I wanted the Blu-rays, because honestly, I think the first one is probably tied for my favourite film ever with The Exorcist. I've talked about this before in my review of The Exorcist, and I think a few other videos here and there. Probably when I got the first one on Blu-ray. So, yeah, and I love the sequels probably just as much as the original, so I wanted to get all three of them on Blu-ray, and now I finally have bought this cheap. You can definitely tell because because it's a kids' film, the cover is all ripped and scratched and stuff. So yeah, it is Toy Story 2. A lot of people consider this to be better than the original, and in some ways I do agree. I remember growing up, I preferred the original, and there was a long time when I hated this film. I don't know what it was. I think it was just I watched it too many times. The same thing happened with Spider-Man 2, where I watched it too many times and I just hated it. Now I came back to it years later, and now I love both the films. So, yeah, I really, really like this film. I think the Toy Story movies are probably just a perfect trilogy. They're pure fun, they're innocent, they have great stories, really good acting, animation. The animation actually still, for the most part, holds up like 20 years later. So, yeah, if you haven't seen Toy Story, then I don't think there is someone who's not seen it. If you haven't, see them. See all three of them, because they're really good films. Okay, I believe this is... No, it's not the final Blu-ray. I'll get the other one. Actually, no, I'll leave the other one because it's connected to another DVD I got. So, yeah, this is the other one of the other Blu-rays I got, and then the other one I'll talk about later. It's it does have a like a bit of cardboard, like a bit of paper that goes over it because it's a steel book. So, yeah, I don't have the bit of paper here. It's over on my bed, so I'm not getting it. I'm lazy. So, yeah, I'll just show off the case first, and maybe I'll stretch over and get it. It is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Blu-ray. This is the 40th anniversary edition. There's two releases of this. There's, of course, in the US there is the one that comes in the big cardboard box, and the one that comes in the Black Maria, something like that. It's the big truck case, but this is a steelbook version. It's released by Second Sight, but I believe everything's the same. All the extras are the same, and I believe the transfer and everything is the same. I've not watched it. I've watched a couple of the documentaries on there, but I haven't watched the actual film. Yeah, the steelbook is fantastic. It's very smooth. It looks really cool, and yeah, on the inside you've got the discs there, but got leather face, and underneath the discs, I'm not going to take it out, but you've got the main girl in it, the main woman, the typical slasher survivor to the end character running away from him. So yeah, it's the bit of paper that comes with it. So yeah, on the back it does say all the special features and stuff that are on there. There's quite a few commentaries actually, but yeah, this is the transfer, I think. It says new 40th anniversary restoration supervised by Toby Hooper and new 4K transfer. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the original. So yeah, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I've reviewed the entire series before, but I love these films because they're probably this is probably the scariest film I've ever seen. The sequels, the second one's good, and the remake's okay, and the prequel to that's pretty good as well. But the original is the best one. That's just one they'll never be able to top. It's just horrific. It's just grim and vile, and it's hard to watch, and it's really scary. I think the chase scene in it is one of the scariest chase scenes I've ever seen in a film. So yeah, I love this film, and I will be watching it again sometime. It's just, I know it's going to make me feel dirty, so that's why I haven't watched it yet. What should I just... I'll just go for the first thing I find. Here's a box set of 3 films, 2 of which I've seen and enjoyed. They're not perfect films, they're very, very flawed. In fact, a lot of people would call them terrible, and I'd understand. But I enjoyed them. I haven't seen the first one, and I did not know Jack Black was in it. You learn something new every day. So it is this box flick thing that comes with Evil Woman, also known as Saving Silverman, Not Another Teen Movie, and Loser. So, yeah, Evil Woman is known more as Saving Silverman. I think even on Netflix it's called Saving Silverman. I don't know anything about that film, but I wanted not another teen movie, and Loser, I thought, oh well, I'll just get this box set because it's cheap, and yeah. So Not Another Teen Movie is a parody of the teen sex comedy genre. So it's a parody of things, not even sex comedies, just teen movies from the 90s, like She's All That and stuff like that. I believe that's what it's called. I think that is it. There's one movie that parodies a lot and parodies the whole plot of it. I'm pretty sure it's called She's All That. It probably isn't, but yeah, I think it is. It also has parodies of other stuff, and some of you may remember it because it's got Marilyn Manson did his version of Tainted Love for it. So that's pretty cool, I guess. And Loser is a film starring Jason Biggs and Mina Savari, who were both, of course, in American Pie. So this was like the other film they were in together, so that was pretty cool to see him, I guess. And the song from this is actually Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus, which is one of my favourite songs. So yeah. Not Another Teen Movie is incredibly flawed, but it's funny, it's silly, it's stupid, and Loser, I thought, is not a very good film, but I enjoyed it. I don't know what it was just a guilty pleasure of mine, I guess. It's not a very good film, nothing really makes sense, but I enjoyed it for what it is, and it's got really good music in it, I guess. There's Blink-182 and stuff in it, so yeah. So I enjoyed that film, so yeah, and I look forward to watching Evil Woman or Saving Silverman or whatever you want to call it. Next up is a film I saw a while ago on Netflix, and I really liked it. I really thought it was a good film, and a lot of people consider it to be one of the best teen movies ever made and one of the best comedies of the 80s. It's a dark comedy, so yeah, if you like dark comedies, then this is definitely your film. It is Heathers, starring Christian Slater and Winona Ryder. Basically, Winona Ryder is a part of this sort of gang at high school. Not really a gang. When you think of gang, you think of like gangsters and stuff. But yeah, there's 3 other girls called Heather in this gang. So her name's Veronica, so she's like the odd one out, I guess. And she ends up hating it. And one day she decides that she wishes that one of them was dead, and she meets Christian Slater's character, who basically comes in and helps her kill her friend, and then basically takes her out, and he gets really insane and starts making her kill people. Every time she says, "I'm angry with that person, I wish they were dead," he tricks her into killing them with him. So it's a messed up film, and as the film progresses you realise that Christian Slater's character is insane. So yeah, but it is a really good film. It's very funny, very well made, and I didn't expect it to be as dark as it was. I did not know anything about it going into it. I just knew it. A lot of people said it was a good comedy from the 80s, so I thought, oh, it'll be interesting. I like Winona Ryder, so yeah, I didn't realise it was going to be as dark as it was, but I really liked it. It's definitely a film I'd check out if you like different comedies, so yeah. Right, what should I go for next? I'll go with the one that just landed in my hand. It's a TV show. It's very rarely does a movie come along that's based on a TV show that's actually really good, and there was a trilogy of movies based on this TV show which were fantastic comedies. 3 of my favourite movies ever, especially the first one is definitely one of my all-time favourite comedies, and this was the original TV show from the 80s. It was not very successful. It got cancelled after 6 episodes, but I enjoyed it. I watched it on an old VHS tape, so yeah, I look forward to watching it again. I am really looking forward to watching it again. It's only like 2.5 hours, so it is something I can just put on one day and just watch the entire thing. It is Police Squad, starring Leslie Nielsen. It's actually called Police Squad in Colour. So all 6 episodes on DVD. So this was created by David Zucker, Jerry Zucker, and Jim Abrahams, that's it, who also made Airplane and of course Naked Gun, which is based on Police Squad. I remember a few things about the show. The style and everything is just like the Naked Gun movies. It's that whole parody on old like cop shows that were popular in like the 70s and 80s, as well as like noir elements in there as well. Loads of sight gags, and a lot of the sight gags in the show they actually did copy in the movie. So yeah, it's interesting to see where the movies came from, and it is a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it again because I remember really enjoying it. So yeah. Next up is a comedy I watched on TV a while ago. Again, I didn't expect it to be the way it was. I expected it to be a comedy because it's got a bunch of comedic actors, and it's got Steve Martin, Rick Moranis. I don't know what's wrong with my speech today, but yeah. So I expected, it's going to be a funny film, and it had funny moments in it, but it was a very serious drama. It was directed by Ron Howard, so what did I expect? It is Parenthood. Yeah, it's basically all about these parents dealing with their kids, struggling to cope with the drama and stuff that they're going through. All of them are connected, like, through their family and stuff, so, yeah. It's about being a parent, and I liked it. I thought it was actually really good. It did have a lot of really funny moments in there, but when it wasn't being funny, it was like really, really good drama, fantastic acting in it, really good writing. It's very interesting. I think probably my favourite performance in there is Diane West or whatever, who was really good in it. I liked her in The Lost Boys, but I thought she was really good in this. Probably the best performance out of anyone in the film. And I like Steve Martin as well, of course, and Rick Moranis. So, yeah, there's a lot to like about this film. So I definitely check out watching it. Just know it's more of a drama than a comedy. So, yeah, I apologise that I'm not really talking much about all these films. I'm tired and stuff. I'm still getting over a cold, so my brain's not entirely functional. Next up is a film I got from Poundland. You'd think a film you get from Poundland would always be bad, but recently Poundland have actually, or at least the one I live near, has been getting some really good films in there. Like, they've had the entire Matrix trilogy in there recently, separately for a pound, not all together. And they've also had things like The Office, both the seasons of The Office in there, and extras and stuff. And they had Star Wars Episode 3 in there the other day. It's a shame they didn't have Episode 1, because I wanted to buy that. I wanted a copy of it, because, yeah, mine don't think it works, or it's missing a disc or something like that. So, yeah, but I got this film in Poundland. I watched it a long time ago when it first came out, I believe, when they first started showing it on TV on Sky Movies. And I enjoyed it. I've watched it a few times, and I look forward to watching it again. It's his Role Models, starring Sean William Scott and Paul Rudd. It's also got Elizabeth Banks and Christopher Mintz-Plaza in it as well. Basically, Paul Rudd and Sean William Scott's character are basically told that they do something wrong. They're basically told either they have to do jail time, or they can do 150 hours community service as mentors for troubled children. So there's a lot of comedy to be had. There is yeah, it's a lot of fun. It is very funny. It's not great. It's very flawed, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, I like Paul Rudd. I like Sean William Scott. I like Christopher Mintz-Plaza as well. So yeah, all three of them in the same movie is pretty cool, I guess. I don't know what else to say about it. I also like Elizabeth Banks. I forgot her. She was funny in Zack and Miri Make a Porno. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's good. I haven't seen it in a while, so I can't remember too much about it, but I liked it. I'm just throwing all of my DVDs over there. So next up is a film that I bought along with that box set of Evil Woman, Not Another Teen Movie, and Loser. I bought it at the same time, and actually I bought Heathers at the same time as well. It was another one where I was just like, I probably don't need to own that, but whatever. I enjoyed it. I watched it on Netflix. I thought it was a pretty funny film. It's very underrated. It's not one I've heard much about, but I enjoyed it. So I thought I'll get it and I'll watch it again sometime. It is Saved, starring Jenna Malone, Mandy Moore, Macaulay Culkin, and Patrick Fugit or Faggot or whatever the hell his name is. Yeah, I like this film, I guess. It's all about, basically, there's Mandy Moore's character is like, basically in this high school, she's like, it's a Christian high school, she's like the God, the Jesus sort of thing. Everyone loves her, everyone aspires to be like her, she's like the star pupil, and there is, I believe, a friend of hers, played by Jenna Malone, who one day decides that she's going to lose her virginity, and she gets pregnant, and then the guy who she lost her virginity with turns out to be gay, and he's been sent to a conversion place where they basically try and scare the gay out of you, I guess. So yeah, she's having to be pregnant and keep it a secret from everyone because she doesn't want anyone to know, so she's got her friends around her helping her keep it a secret and not let anyone know that she's pregnant. So yeah, I liked a lot of things about this film. I thought there was some really likable characters, and then the writing was really good. It was very funny at times as well, and similar to something like Heathers, or not Heathers, like Parenthood. The funny parts are really funny, but the dramatic parts are really good and dramatic, and I really cared about the characters, and I really wanted to see what happened at the end, and I was happy with the end. It's a very funny film, so it's not perfect. It's one of those films that you probably put on one day and maybe never watch again. I probably will, because I like these sort of films. So yeah, it's definitely a film I recommend you watch at least once. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't, but whatever. I won't be held responsible if you watch it and it's the worst thing you've ever seen. Next up is a film that I love the original. The original is one of my favourite films. Probably if I was ranking it would be like number 2. It's a musical. I don't like musicals, but I liked this one. And then the one I'm holding in my hand right now is a sequel to it, which is very, very weird. It's definitely a very different sequel, and if you watched it, you'd notice a lot of similarities, but you probably wouldn't think it's a sequel, more of like a reimagining or something. So, yeah, so I spent ages trying to find this, and it was not cheap on Amazon, and it was about £3 where I bought it, and it's normally between about £4 and like £10. Then that's used as well. I got this used, but I mean, £4 to £10 used. I'm not paying that. This was just kind of an impulse buy. I was just like, I want to see it. I've never seen it before. I've been waiting to watch it for years. So it is Shock Treatment, the sequel to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, one of my favourite films. So yeah, the plot of this film is Brad and Janet, they're married now, and they're basically decide to appear in this game show where their marriage will be improved, and Brad, he'll be fixed and made into they think he'll be made into realizing that Janet is important, and they'll fall in love more and more than they were before because their marriage is failing at the moment. But what ends up happening is weird stuff happens, like Janet is basically turned into this big, like, Kim Kardashian-esque TV star who everyone idolizes and loves. With more I think about it, no one loves Kim Kardashian, but yeah, she's very well known and stuff, and Brad is imprisoned into a mental hospital. But so yeah, it's very different. There's elements that are very similar between the two films. Like the music is very similar, nowhere near as good or catchy or anything, but it's very similar. The directing style and stuff is also similar. There's also some actors who return, like Richard O'Brien, of course, the creator of the two movies. He returned. Patricia Quinn, Charles Gray, I believe that was who was in it, and Nell Campbell. I believe those two were the two people who were in the original. So yeah, there's also some interesting cameos from other people like what's his name? Rick Mail. He's in this film, and I really like Rick Mail. I like things like The Young Ones and Bottom, and what was the other one? Drop Dead Fred and stuff like that. So yeah, it was cool to see him in this, and he was much younger in this. And yeah, much younger than the other stuff. I mean, not much younger than now. He's dead, so of course he's much younger than he is now. But yeah, so I enjoyed this film. It's nowhere near as good as the original. I mean, this is, you just can't compare the two films, really. It's decent, it's fun, it's stupid, but it's fun. I like the fact it was different and didn't just try to copy this first film again. And it's probably, I think, the idea of the film and stuff is better than the actual execution. I think it tried maybe a bit too hard, and in the end some of it is a bit too shallow for what they tried to do, and not all of it works, and a lot of the music isn't very good, and a lot of the time I had no idea what was going on, but it's decent. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again, but I'm glad I've seen it. So yeah. Next up is a film I have not seen. It is The Diary of Anne Frank. I went to the Anne Frank house last year when I went to Amsterdam. I read the diary, the actual book, so I thought I might as well watch the movie. And I haven't watched the movie yet, but I've got it, so you know, I'm getting there. I'm one step in the right direction, so yeah, I will watch it sometime. Speaking of the Holocaust, Schindler's List. That was quite a sudden opening. Yeah, I watched this for the first time back in September of last year, and I really liked it. I thought it was a very well made film, probably one of the best I've ever seen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it again. It's messed up, but I enjoyed it, kind of. No, there's a lot I didn't enjoy about it. I didn't enjoy the shower scene and stuff like that, and it's a very emotionally draining film, but I liked it a lot, and I'm looking forward to watching a documentary on here called Voices from the List. I almost didn't get the DVD because I almost got the Blu-ray, but it was too expensive, and by too expensive I mean it was like £7, which isn't too expensive, but it was more than I wanted to pay. So yeah, in the end I just thought, I'll just get the DVD and I'll own the film. Then maybe one day I'll get the Blu-ray and watch the documentary. But it came with the documentary. I didn't know it was 2 discs, because I think on Amazon it said it was 1 disc. But the fact there's 2 discs is cool. It means I can watch that documentary. So yeah, based on a true story. Same with Diary of Anne Frank. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Probably one of Steven Spielberg's best. So yes. Let's go over here to the other Blu-ray I had. There was a DVD and a Blu-ray that were connected. So let's start with the DVD first. This is one of my favourite shows. I wanted to collect all of it, but I don't know if I can be bothered anymore, because the new episodes are just so awful. I mean, one of these is the Blu-ray is a special they did, which I did not like. I got the other 2 in this. There's a series of specials they did, but the third one I just did not like. But this one I'm holding in my hand, the DVD I enjoyed. It's basically it was originally a 3-parter that they decided, you know what, let's put it on DVD as a movie. It doesn't work as a movie. It's kind of what they did with those Futurama movies. Although the Futurama movies were movies, whereas this is just 3 episodes put into one. But it's not too bad. It is Family Guy, Stewie Griffin, The Untold Story. It's a shame they didn't just put this on the DVD as the normal episodes. I mean, they did that with South Park and Imagination Land. They released it as a movie on DVD on its own, and also in the normal series set. But with Family Guy, they were just like, nah, we want more money. So as greedy, but they're the same people who release those compilation things all the time, like best of Stewie and best of Brian and stuff like that, and best of that person who lived round the corner and you only saw him in one episode. Yeah, and they release single episodes on DVD every once in a while, so yeah, but I enjoyed the movie. It was okay, and the Blu-ray I got was It's a Trap, the third and final of the Star Wars ones, and it does actually come with a DVD, which I did not know. I bought the Blu-ray thinking it was the Blu-ray, but it came with the DVD as well. It's a triple play edition, so I can get the digital copy as well. Does it say when it runs out? Normally these, like, you've looked to try and redeem it. It's like, this ran out in 2010 or something like that. No, it doesn't say it's run out, so I've probably... I bought it used, so I doubt it hasn't been used. But, yeah, this is because the third of the Star Wars parodies. First two I enjoyed, this one not so much. It was stupid. Everything that makes the new episodes bad is in this. The jokes are not funny. There's loads of awkward moments that I'm just like, oh my god, they thought this was funny. This is just painful. There's characters from like the Cleveland Show and American Dad that make appearances, and they don't need to be in there. It's Family Guy, not Seth MacFarlane's It's a Trap. So yeah, that really annoyed me, but hey, I wanted to own it. I haven't seen it in a while. I watched it when it first came out, so maybe I'll watch it and it'll like be all of a sudden really good, but I highly doubt it. Right, next up I'll do I'll do these 2 seasons and then I'll go on to the show I got 4 seasons of. So this is a show I like a lot. It finished a while ago. It got cancelled. It's by a creator of a TV show. It's one of my favourite shows ever, and so yeah, I liked this show. I watched it every once in a while. It was on TV, and so yeah, it was originally on Netflix for a while, and then just as I was starting to watch it, they took it off, so that really annoyed me. But I decided to get the first 2 seasons so I can watch half the show again, and if I enjoy it, I'll get the rest. And I just dropped the 2nd season. It is King of the Hill seasons 1 and 2. I like King of the Hill. It's by creator of Beavis and Butthead, Mike Judge, and also Greg Daniels, who previously wrote for The Simpsons, and I believe he did things like the American version of The Office and stuff, which I also really liked. So yeah, this is a good show. It's a lot like Family Guy in a way. Yeah, it is a lot like Family Guy, the way it's got the 4 friends who are always hanging out and stuff, and it's a lot of family stuff. So yeah, this is one of those shows all about families, and it's a cartoon. It's like Family Guy, Simpsons sort of thing, but it is funny. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a show I'd recommend you watch. So yeah, it's very different to Beavis and Butthead, but it's got a lot of the Mike Judge humour in it, and the person who plays Hank Hill is Mike Judge, and you can tell it sounds like, I can't remember who it is, but one of the characters from Beavis and Butthead. So yeah, I enjoy King of the Hill, and I look forward to watching it again. Right, this is going to be the hard one to show off because I've got 4 seasons of a show. Right, before I had seasons 1, 5, 6 and 14, so I decided, you know what, let's get seasons 2, 3, 4 and 7. So now I have the first 7 seasons of this show, and I'll get the others sometime in the future. I'll just show off one of them. It's South Park. I just dropped season 7. South Park, this is season 2. It's a US release because it was cheaper. 3 and 4 are older versions of the show because it comes in huge boxes. I mean, this is 1 season alone. I mean this thick. It's I'll slide it out. It comes in 4 boxes, whereas the others, the newer releases, is just a thin little case like that. So yeah, this is season 3 here, and it's an 18. So yeah, the newer release, I think, is 15, so resubmitted it for a certification. Series 4 and then Series 7. So, yeah, I like South Park. It's one of my favourite shows, and I recently watched the first season again for the first time in a long time. First time probably since I first started watching it. It must be about 5 or 6 years ago now when I first started watching it, and I watched the first season and really enjoyed it, but never really got much further than that, and just watched random episodes when it was on TV. Now I watch the show every time there's a new episode. I'll watch it, and I also watch random episodes every once in a while. I've seen loads of episodes of the show. I mean, every time there'll be an episode on TV and I'll watch it, I'll go, oh yeah, I remember this episode. So yeah, and reading through some of the descriptions on the 4 seasons I bought, I remember a lot of the episodes as well, so I look forward to watching them all again. I really enjoyed Series 1, and I'm going to start watching Season 2 sometime in the future. So yeah, South Park. It's a good show. One of those shows that gets better with age, which is very rare. I mean, I think South Park and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia are the only shows where each season is better than the last. Although there were a few bad seasons of South Park. So yeah, it's the opposite of The Simpsons, which just gets worse as every year it goes by. So that's everything. Almost 40 minutes of me talking about films and completely ruining my voice, which already wasn't very good. So yeah, I guess that's really everything I have to talk about. Now I have to clean up the big mess of DVDs I have on my bed. I'll do it later. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Oh wait, a couple of updates I wanted to do. The horror movie series review will be out in this week. The new one for the Leprechaun movies will be out this week, starting soon. Written all the reviews, just gonna record it once my voice is better. Once my cold's completely gone, I'll record the reviews and edit them. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.